Good morning. My name is Lori Bradner with the Florida Aviation Network. We would like to welcome you here today to the Seminole Lake Glider Port. It is a beautiful day today for the 24th Annual Senior Competition. And today I would like to introduce to you Mr. Shawn Knickerbocker. Mr. Knickerbocker, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Now, I understand, I have to tell you, we are on this beautiful property with a beautiful home, beautiful pool, fabulous hangar, which our guests can't see. As you said, I wish we could turn it around and be in your hangar. But this is your property. You've allowed us to set up here today.
Yes, and I want to thank everybody for coming too, and we're trying to get organized in this great competition and putting out aviation. That's what we want to do. Absolutely.
Now, I understand you were telling me before we started, you are actually one of the competitors in the competition, and this is the 24th Annual Senior Glider Championships.
Yes, that is right, the 24th annual. However, I had to withdraw from the contest because I'm having my glider painted, and I don't pick it up till tomorrow. But I did fly yesterday.
Did you really?
I flew with one of the world champion, Carl Streidig, and we placed 11th.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
It was a lot of fun.
Now, how long the competition? When did the competition start, and how long does it go? Can you tell us a little bit about the glider competition and what it includes? Some of our viewers are obviously aviation. We're all aviation enthusiasts, but some are new to gliding and to sport gliding. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, basically the competition consists of this is considered a handicap race that any glider can enter. Open class, standard class, 15-meter class.
Okay.
Pilots from all over the world. We have a pilot from Seattle, Washington. He's down here.
I bet he's glad to be here with this weather.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. But it started yesterday, and it runs through the 17th. Okay. And there's a couple courses that are planned. There's a contest director, they call the CD, and then there's a weather guy. Okay. And they anticipate, based on the weather, the contest director determines how far the routing is, the task is, and there's 2 or 3 turn points. Okay. And as a racing pilot, it does get a little complicated, but mainly sailplane flying or glider flying is open to anybody. 14 years old, you can solo. You can fly a glider at 14.
You can't even drive a car at 14.
That's exactly right. You fly an airplane now with no engine. Imagine that.
It's amazing.
It is. It is. But we're here at Seminole Lake Glider Port. It's a commercial operation. They provide rides, advanced training, qualifications. Once you get all your training and everything, you come to me, and I'm a pilot examiner for the FAA, so I can issue your pilot certificate. So we do that, and then
I'll be calling you.
Oh,
I'm
fine.
that close.
Fine. That's good. Hang in there.
I will.
Yes. Yes. So that's what we do, and we're here to promote aviation and safety and encourage young people to get in aviation. We need more pilots. We need more pilots.
Absolutely. Now, tell me a little bit about, I know that my understanding is that the Seminole Lake Glider Port was started July 1st, 1989. That was when it was first opened. And because I am new, this is my first time out here, it's beautiful. There are actually, like your home here, you've got residential homes here. How many homes are here? And you've got a grass strip that was laid, I understand, that was specially laid out for the gliders. Can you tell me a little bit about the area and what, I know that this is open to the public, so we will probably have guests that'll be coming. Can you tell me a little bit about what to expect and what they're going to see?
Yeah, exactly right. This is it's a private strip, and there's seven homes here. There's 5-acre plots, and they're spread out, and most everybody here has an aircraft of some sort, either a J3 Cub or gliders or self-launch gliders. We got 3,500 feet of grass, nice wide grass strip, so if you come in and have a little issue maintaining your center line, you got enough room to maneuver.
No one's house is in jeopardy.
Yeah, that's exactly
good.
right.
That's good.
And we're right off, we're south of Groveland, Florida, which is just west of Claremont on Highway 33, Florida 33, at the intersection basically of Lake County 561.
And I know that there's signs that they'll be able to see for the Seminole Lake glider port.
That is correct.
That'll be there. Now tell me a little bit, you were saying that your glider is painted. Can you tell me, I believe that there is an Arcus here. I understand, I'm learning a little bit that there's an Arcus glider somewhere here. And can you tell me a little bit about some of the gliders that we'll be seeing today, some that will be flying, and can you tell me a little bit about your glider, although it's being painted and it's not going to fly today?
I was looking over here. There was an Arcus. See that trailer that says Alpha X-Ray Charlie on it, AXC? That's an Arcus. That's a brand new Shimperth Arcus. That's a beautiful glider. It's down on the line here.
Okay.
Excuse me. What we're going to have here, there's various types of gliders. This is a DG. This is a DG Glass Dirks glider right here.
Okay.
And the one up there in front of it's an LS glider. You have various amounts of gliders. You have some with motors on them, some without motors. You have self-launch. You have sustainer engines. You have Schleikers here. It's a mass of different gliders here.
Okay.
It's phenomenal to watch. And as Tom mentioned earlier in his interview, that we're going to have about 60 gliders, and they're going to be launched in about an hour. And it's something to watch, especially when they get above overhead. You can see them, and they fly in circles, and you have 10, 15 gliders all together, about a couple hundred feet, 50 feet apart, sometimes getting the thermals, and that's called a gaggle.
A gaggle?
That's what it is.
In geese too, right? A gaggle in geese, that's
right. That's exactly right.
Now let me ask you, you were saying that you've got a director, you have a weather person. How does the weather look today? Obviously, from our vantage point, it's fabulous. How does the weather look today? And for the competition today, what is the route? What are they going to be doing, and what is set up for the pilots today? What do they have to expect?
Well, they go through a pilot's briefing, which they just had, and since I don't have my glider, I'm not in the competition, but they have a pilot's briefing. They're going to have, and on the weather today, it looks like we may have some high overcast to a certain extent. That's going to more likely burn off as the sun gets hotter.
Okay.
And I don't know what the task is going to be today.
Okay.
The task yesterday, we took off. We went down to just south of Lake Wales, Florida. Then we went over to Green Swamp Airport, and then we headed up towards Leesburg.
Okay.
And it was 159 miles, and we had a good time. Carl and I got low. We got down to 1,300 feet, and we got saved by a garbage fire. Produces lift, heat,
the thermals,
and we thermaled right on up. So that was an interesting one. So, but that's what we do. And like I said, it's going to be a great competition. The weather's been a little bit a damper on it because it hasn't been that. The weather hasn't been that true Florida Central weather yet.
It's not yet.
Yeah,
no, I think that's across the nation. And I know as you said, we've got people from Seminole. Tom, that was just with us, was from Pennsylvania. I think at this point they're just ready to get out of the cold and the snow, and they'll take anything. They'll take our 60, 70 degree weather and take that.
That is.
Now, one of the things I think for me as a budding young pilot myself, that's most interesting is how individuals got into aviation. And Tom had a fabulous story, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. We did not rehearse this, but I've got to ask this. How did you get into aviation, and what was that thing that sparked you?
I grew up in Miami, and everybody around me worked for Eastern Airlines or Braniff or Pan American.
Yes.
My aunt was Juan Tripp's secretary. He was CEO of Pan American Airlines in the day. And if you saw that movie, Catch Me If You Can.
Yes,
There's a clip in there. I think no, I don't know if it's Catch Me If You Can, but it was one of the ones. Maybe it was about Howard Hughes. There's one about Howard Hughes.
Okay.
Baldwin. What's his name? Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
He played Juan Tripp in that movie with about Howard Hughes.
About her.
And I met him, and when I was 8 years old, and I wanted to be an airline pilot. Well, that never happened.
Okay.
But I got in aviation, and I went in the military, and then got out of the military, and then I worked for U.S. Customs for about 20 some odd years, chasing drug smugglers. And then from there, I retired in 2004, and then I spent the last 10 years in Iraq and Afghanistan supporting special operations over there as a pilot, flying the Havilland -7, the -6, Twin Otter, and also King Air 350s. So I've done a lot of aviation stuff, 45, 48 years of flying, and So now I've died and gone to heaven right here. Gliders in Central Florida. Weather's good.
That's fabulous.
So it's great.
Now tell me a little bit. Obviously, you have a love for aviation, and I know I'm looking at your hangar, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I know that you've got more than just a glider in there. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your babies that you have that are just, they're gleaming at us? And again, I wish we could turn the cameras around, and I would just invite everyone to come down, and if they could even just take a peep in your hangar, come by and see us and take a look.
Well, we have, remember, not every one of those are mine.
Okay.
But I do.
You can claim them, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I owe 2 of them. But the Stearman, the biplane on the left, is a 1943 Stearman PT-13 with.
Oh, good. We've got it. We actually have turned around. So okay, so we're looking at the Stearman on the left.
Yeah, and
you got to love the cameras.
Oh,
Isn't that fabulous?
It is.
We're
it
actually
is.
our guests
and
are seeing.
I can
so tell
see
us a little bit about it.
That's a Stearman. That's a 1943 biplane. It's all fabric. Has a 985 on it. Pratt & Whitney, which is about 450 horsepower.
Did you rebuild it?
No, I did not. It belongs to a friend of mine. He can't fly it, so I have to take care of it. So I fly it, and the airplane to the right of that, with the prop straight up and down, is a SNJ-5, commonly known as a T6 Texan.
I got to fly one.
Oh, did
last
you?
year, son of fun.
Oh, good deal.
They're fun. So tell us now, is that one yours?
Yeah, that one's mine, and I give orientation flights in it, and we go up and we do basic aerobatics, aileron rolls, barrel rolls, loops, stuff like that. And then behind that is a Cub on floats, 160 horsepower Cub on whip line floats.
Wow.
And then to the right of the T6, I don't know if you can see it because of the curtain there.
Yeah, we've got a curtain. I believe that's there for the briefing.
Yeah, that was for a safety briefing, but that's a Super Cub back there. And right in front of the Stearman is a ASK-21 two-place glider from the York Soaring Club out of York, out of Ontario, Canada. They're down here.
Wow.
And that glider was used in the last series a week or 2 ago on the Aviators. Charles Peterson, they did a special on it, and that same glider was in there with Charles flew, and they did the clip on the Aviators.
That's fabulous. Now, will that glider be flying today?
No, it will not. But I have that available if people want to come out and want to get a little orientation. I give them an orientation flight. I'm also a Canadian ATP pilot. I'm a Canadian pilot as well. And I used to fly up on beavers in the bush and all that. So
Shawn, you need to write a book.
Oh, I don't know.
I told you that. You need to write a book.
Life has been good. So anyway, but everything is doing well here, and we have all kinds of aircraft coming in. You may see there was a helicopter earlier that flew by, but one thing I have to put a plug. May 17th,
please.
May 17th, right here, we're going to have an open house, second annual open house. Connie and I, and it's going to include barbecue, free barbecue.
And Connie is your better half.
Yes, she is.
No doubt. All right.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure, and she's gorgeous.
And last year, we had 48 airplanes show up, all kinds of airplanes, and 250 people here. And we had the FAA here, Wayne Boggs, John Linhouse from Sun and Fun was here.
Yes.
We had everything here, and it was a great. Wacos, Stearmans, T6s, and my friend Joe from West Palm Beach brought his OV1 Mohawk in.
He did not.
Yeah, he did. OV1 Mohawk. So that was a lot of fun.
And so that will be an open house, May 17th. And an open house, it's open to anyone who would like to fly in.
Yep, and to fly in, but it needs to be an RSVP.
Yes.
It will be, I'll have it listed on Social Flight.
Social Flight, you're welcome to go ahead and tell the audience for us.
Social Flight. I think it's socialflight.com, but if you Google or Bing Social Flight, you get a list. You can look up, and it shows all the aviation activities that are going to occur and whatever criteria you set in there.
That is fabulous. Well, I tell you what, we've got a beautiful day, and Shawn, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. This is going to be a fabulous, very exciting time. As someone that is new to gliders, I can't wait, as you said, to see the pictures in the sky. And we just thank you for being here. And I want to say thank you on behalf of the Florida Aviation Network to you and to your lovely wife, Connie, for allowing us to set up and be here today. This was fabulous. And we look forward to talking with you, hopefully a little later as the competition starts. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we would love to have you come down today. This is open. And Tom, could you tell them one more time the directions and how to get here, just so that they know better you than me? I'm not a great navigator. So.
Well, actually, the best way to come is if you come on Interstate 4 westbound from Orlando, you get off at 192, and you take 192 to US 27. 27 north to County Road 474. Yep. Turn left. I'm doing all this by memory now. I don't have a GPS. Turn left. and go 10 miles. You hit Florida 33, turn right, go about 3 miles, and you'll see a sign just as you pass 561 on the right, Seminole Lake Glider Port, turn left in here. But when you come up on the road, please stop, because there's a road crosses a runway.
Okay.
Want to make sure you don't encounter a glider.
Hold short.
Yes,
Hold
that's
short.
exactly
Absolutely.
right.
We look forward to seeing you here at the Seminole Lake Glider Port. Again, this is Lori Bradner with the Florida Aviation Network. Shawn, thank you again.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.